I just got here. Can you start over from the top? They buffed all these characters listed here. Except Beelzebub, it's just like a bug fix. And there's gonna be bigger buffs in the future. That's the short version of the patch. I talked about this recently, but like, you know when streamers get asked questions and they just always flame their chat? I don't mean like occasionally, right? Because occasionally you gotta flame your chat. But when streamers never answer questions, it just like, it's such a turnoff. I was watching a tournament that was happening yesterday for Runeterra, and the streamer was playing the match, and during it, people, every single decision they would ask him about, right? So I was in the chat and I was answering questions. I was like, oh, he did this here because of this, or this is the move there because of this, or whatever, right? But I noticed that in some card game streams, they would get so pissed that people asked the question. I was watching some stream, and it was a guy who has like 70 viewers, an okay sized stream, and some guy was like, hey, why do you include this card? And he was like, why do I include this card? Because I don't want to fucking lose. That's why I include this card. And if you run this deck without this card, you're a moron. And I was like, God, you're insufferable. No one cares. Who the fuck are you? I can't imagine even trying to justify being such an asshole to your viewer for answering such a simple question, right? He's acting like he's the king of the world. When I mentioned this on Twitter, some people were saying, well, you know, big streamers, you know, they don't answer all these questions because they just don't have time or whatever, right? And it's like, regardless of the size of your stream, you don't have to be an asshole when you answer questions. You can just answer normally. Now, some people are asking questions to troll you, right? That's fine. That's different. But like, if someone being genuine, they're like, what makes you include this card? If you think they're a troll, you can just ignore their question or answer it seriously. Because like, if you answer that seriously, I guarantee there will be viewers in the chat who don't really know the answer to that question and will find your explanation interesting. People are like, oh, you're hating on Eris. Eris is completely different. Part of the appeal of his stream is that it's a joke that you don't answer questions and he shoots you, right? And also, he hella answers questions. He answers your question and then says, hey, don't ask me any questions. He answers a lot of questions all the time on his stream. Anyway, it applies to fighting games too. People will backseat for you all the time. Why didn't you just do this card here? It's a better move. And you'll be like, well, I think it was safer to play this maybe. Same thing with fighting games. Yeah, I did this there because I had resources, and given the resources that it was the safest choice. It didn't work, but it be due. That's kind of how you answer it. And yeah, for stuff that comes up all the time, having a command is very useful. But yeah, if you're an asshole to all your questions or all your viewers all the time, they're just gonna think you're a bitch, especially if you don't have that rapport built up with your stream. Eris has a rapport with his stream. If you're not that kind of a streamer and you're just an asshole to all your viewers, you just come off as an asshole. People don't want to support you. If 95% of the time someone asks you a question and you're like, hey, fuck you. It's like, come on, man. Why are you even streaming at that point? If you never want to answer a question, like, and you just hate everybody, then it's probably not worth it. It doesn't make sense to me. What is neutral? Well, in a wrestling match, generally things start as neutral, right? They start on your feet neutral until someone gets a takedown. A takedown is worth 2 points, and escape is worth 1 point. Those are the general rules of wrestling. Now, most of the time, when you have a wrestling match, right, in the second and third period, people tend to choose bottom after because it's worthwhile to try to get escape points for getting out and resetting back to neutral. But it depends on the style of wrestling as well. This is more like traditional collegiate wrestling. Like Greco is a little different, and stuff like that you see on the Olympics is a different style of wrestling. What's the DHC glitch? You know when you're having a combo, but then you're not having any combo, and you get knocked down, but you're still combo, and it does damage. You understand? Hey, what's rollback netcode? Good question. If you hit ! netcode in the chat, it'll tell it to you. See? You can just do both. You can have commands and answer questions, even if they're stupid. What do DPs mean when it's not SF? It just refers to any invincible move that you can use as an anti-air or as a wake-up option. Just any uppercut. What's reversal? Reversal generally refers to doing something as a timing that's immediate. So like, if someone does a button and you block it, doing a reversal jab is doing your jab the very first frame after. So a reversal uppercut refers to doing an uppercut the very first frame available. What's the difference between a hit confirm and a conversion? A hit confirm is generally related to you visually seeing that some hit or move connected and then canceling it into super or canceling it into a special move, canceling it or whatever. It's about visual. Conversions don't have to necessarily, especially when people say like, oh wow, nice conversion. It doesn't necessarily have to be related to like hit confirming and like seeing in a short frame, oh, this move hit and canceling it. It could just be like you're doing a combo and you have the knowledge to know in this situation, I should stop doing this combo because this like assist is going to hit them or some other thing's going to happen in a versus game, right? It's related to a lot of stuff. Anyway, the point of this is I've answered probably every question that's been asked in this chat room a dozen, 1,000, 1,000,000 times a piece. And sometimes I'll see a question in the chat room and I won't feel like answering it. So I just don't. Because either the question is worded badly, or maybe it's like something not related to what I'm even talking about on my stream. So I don't want to derail the topic that I'm currently on. That's just kind of what you have to do when it comes to streaming. And when I watch all these other streamers, I just realize they suck. Not as a streamer necessarily, but as maybe as a person. Like if you get that mad and upset about someone asking you a genuine question about something you are interested in and you can't even talk about the thing you love, I'm like, whoa. How often do you watch a fighting game stream and you're like, hey, in this matchup, why do you do this? And someone's like, because this character's stupid. Like, they're just so negative sometimes. You know what I mean? I just like, if people ask you a question, just be honest, right? Like, oh, well, I don't know. This is why I did it. Sometimes the answer is, I just seemed like the right idea. And that's fine too, right?
Listen.
Poof. Hey, what's up? You guys see this Animal Crossing? I've been killing all kinds of bugs. You guys are pretty funny on Thursdays. Hey. Shut up in there. I love Michael Murray and Michael Murray accessories. I'm new here. Why is the camera green? Shoot that guy.